So, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to this new video. Let me sit down and light my pipe. Lighting the pipe is important to do first, right? We gotta enjoy a little bit in our lives. There we go. Gently tap it, temper it. So there we go. So, I hope you can still see me. Welcome to my smoking room where I come to relax and think. I have to give it another try. There we go. So, I was reading a book and writing a little poetry tonight, which is something I love to do. Some reading, some writing. And it got me thinking. We're moving very close to the winter now, and many people will be a bit depressed. Many of you won't be, but I know some of you will have a bit of a difficult experience going through winter and the holidays. I'm smoking. People always ask. I'm smoking Scottish mixture from McBaron. Which is a very approachable tobacco. I like it. Beautiful smell. Typical pipe tobacco smell. You cannot go wrong if you look for that smell, the typical pipe tobacco smell. Beautiful. So I was reading. Let me get the book. This is such a lovely book. The Cottage Garden. Marjorie Fish at East Lambrook Manor. Now, every chapter opens with a quote, and I found this one to be extremely fitting. As a gardener myself, I love to garden, I grow much food, a lot of food. This quote is spot on. One of the first things the gardener has to learn is to look at the garden by the year and not the week or month. For me, the new season starts in the autumn. Perfect. This is such a perfect representation of how gardening works. Because there's always something. There's always something going on. And at the end of the summer, most of the harvest has been. Of course, there are many things still in the ground waiting for us to pick it up. But the planning of the new season starts in the autumn. And many plant cuttings are also made in the autumn. Actually, I make a lot of fig cuttings from fig trees. And for those who don't know, figs are flowers that flower on the inside of the fruit. That's actually that's the flower on the inside. And I take great joy and pride in growing multiple varieties of figs that do good in in colder weather. And I'm still eating figs. The first season for figs, the first moment in the season is, well, in June, July. And if you're lucky, you get a second crop around September, October. And we are eating it now, and it's maybe not extremely sweet or as perfect as in the summer, but it's pretty good. It just hangs there. It hangs on the trees. Money grows on trees, people. Money grows on trees. It's really true. It's such a beautiful thing to just pick up a few fruits, eat them for free, no pesticides, nothing. It's an absolute joy. And that's also the reason why it's quite easy to get through the year, because there's always something to do. Something is growing, something needs to be fixed, something needs to be cleaned, or you have to make jam for the pantry for winter. Whatever it is, there's always something to do. So if you have a difficulty going through winter, you might want to start a garden, an edible garden or whatever, but just a garden will keep you busy. And that's the beauty of it. But there are many other ways. I'm a fly fisherman. I love fly fishing and fly tying. Actually, I've been fly tying from when I was 8 years old or something like that, which is a beautiful story, by the way. I have to tell. I have to tell this. I was 8 years old. I was fishing by myself. In those days, you could, probably still in some places. I was using a float and some bread, and I caught about 20 or 30 fish. The next day I went back. I wanted more of this experience. It was beautiful. Nothing. Totally nothing. I tried deeper. I tried to fish higher in the water column. Nothing. But I was always a very observant child. So I started observing what was happening on the water surface. And I was seeing flies bouncing on the surface and getting caught by the fish. Now, I had never heard of fly fishing, at least that's in my memory. I had never seen fly fishing, at least in my memory. So, what I did, I went to my neighbor who had chickens and all kinds of birds, and I started collecting feathers. All these feathers, these beautiful feathers, all different colors. Peacock feathers, you name it, everything. They had everything. And I took a big hook, way too large, a big eel hook, and some fishing wire, and I started tying the feathers to the hook. I started tying flies, because I realized that the fish were up taking flies. Now my father caught me doing this behind the shed. It's not the worst thing you can do behind the shed. And he introduced me to his photographer, who, my father was a gold and silversmith, and this photographer did a lot of work for him, and he was also a fly fisherman. And this good man, his name was Siep Braaksma. He was a very kind man. He was so kind. It was so kind of him to teach me fly fishing. Not one time, but he took me out anywhere. He took me to a fly fair, a massive fly fair where all fly fishermen from the world would come together. Now, can you imagine the feeling? The feeling of having kind of invented fly fishing for yourself, and then to come in a fly fair with so many people fly fishing. That was an incredible feeling, I have to say. Like, the whole world opened up to me. Like, are there more people doing this? Like, it was phenomenal. It was an extraordinary experience, and the smells, and everybody was still smoking in this big tent. All kinds of fly fishing gear, handmade rods, and all these flies, and you name it. People still used to dress like this. It was a marvelous time, and I owe Siep Braaksma a lot. Thank you, Siep. And And even my father, I have to thank my father also for allowing that and helping me out. But a long story short is that by observing, you can figure so much out, right? It's very important to observe and to kind of seek in the world what you want to do. So whether it's gardening or fly fishing or whatever it is, there is enough to do to keep you busy and to have you enjoy life. And this is an attitude. This is really important. I know for some of you it's not easy. I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm not trying to make the situation less worse than it is. I know some people are in a very dark, deep place. But if you are able, find something that you can lose yourself in. It's such a beautiful thing. It really is. It starts small, but it grows and grows and grows, and it becomes this massive thing in your life that gives you so much energy and joy. I found another quote about this. I will have to look for a moment. I'm not sure which chapter opened with this quote, but it was also very fitting. No, this is not it. It was such a fitting quote. I should have put a paper in this, but hey, we're not in a hurry, are we? We're not rushing. Let me have a look here. It was such a beautiful quote. No, not this one. Chapter 3. Chapter 4. Yes, this is it. Listen to this quote, people. This is so important. This is such a beautiful thing. It is exactly what I want to say. Although I took it as a matter of course that now we had a house in the country, I should work in the garden. I probably read that sentence all the way wrong. Although I took it as a matter of course that now we had a house in the country, I should work in the garden. I had no idea then of the fanatic I was to become. So that first sentence, I'm not a native English speaker, so for me that's a bit weird. But the sentence that I want to share with you is, I had no idea then of the fanatic I was to become. Now, this is so fitting. You have to start somewhere. And then you have to allow it to capture you and to take you to places that you've never been. It's so incredibly important to allow that in your life. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I hope it makes sense. I hope it gives some sense of joy and hope to those who are not enjoying winter at all. There is a lot to enjoy out there if you allow yourself. There is nothing against you enjoying. Nobody is against that. Doesn't even matter if somebody is against it. Please, if you want to have a chat about it, drop a comment in the comment section. I'd appreciate if you subscribe to this channel. That would be absolutely wonderful, because I'm going to make more of these videos, a lot more. I think it's important that we have these little talks and to discover what is out there to discover. There's a lot. I have a lot of ideas about what to talk about, so I'm gonna relight this pipe and take it a bit slow this evening. Thank you for watching. See you another time. Yeah. Lovely.